7 hours ago, you can see how many unhappy customers I received. You can see 7 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 7 hours ago. And there are so many unhappy customers. You can see the same thing happen 4 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 4 hours ago. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because in order to get all of these unhappy customers, same thing over on my Instagram, but it was yesterday. This is just more proof of how good I am with paid ads, right? In order to get all of these unhappy customers right here, you need to be exceptionally good at paid advertising, all right? Now, if you couldn't tell, I was joking. This guy here did it. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He wanted $750 or he'd like add these comments or something, so I just told him to get fucked. But anyway, I'm going to show you the funnel that allowed me to get all of these unhappy customers. So the first step is understanding what CRA ads are. Now, CRA ads stand for cognitive response ads, which are Instagram video ads, which use the below framework, which trigger a specific psychological reaction inside of the mind of the viewer, which allows us to get clicks and Instagram followers, or sometimes an inbound DM. Now, the reason why Instagram followers are so powerful is because think about it. They're on your Instagram profile where they're literally seeing all these reels here, all these stories, these highlights, everything on my profile, and they're getting nurtured, they're liking me, they're trusting me, and they too want to become one of these unhappy customers right here as well, okay? So these CRA ads are so much better than VSLs, webinars, and forums because now we're not sending people to like a 30-minute video which they're going to get bored of and they're not going to watch and they're going to feel unsatisfied at the end because the whole video was just you selling them. They're low cost, they're high volume, and they give short and long-term gain because we also DM the people who follow us and set them into appointments, okay? So how do you make CRA ads? This video, I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to show you the process, which starts out with market research, then building your own swipe file, campaign planning, scripting your ads, producing your ads, launching your ads, and then scaling your ads. So the first step here is market research, okay? You need to do market research, and there's a ton of ways to do market research. There's competitor research, creative research, and customer research. So customer research is understanding who you're actually targeting, who your customers are, so their desires are and their emotions. You can also use post-purchase surveys. You can ask your current customers what they actually bought for, what they're struggling with, everything like that. And then eventually you're just trying to craft that ICP, that ideal customer profile. You can do creative research where you try to determine the format to the ad to use, whether that's a primary format like video or image, or a secondary format like, you know, Instagram reel, like day in the life video, like all these different Instagram format types, okay? And then you have organic trends. So these are like what's actually trending organically, what style of content is trending is like, as I said, the day in the lives, everything like that. And then angles, why people would actually click on your ad, the different reasons why, because there are a multitude of reasons why people would click your ad. In this case, you clicked to this YouTube video because I took the angle of unhappy customers. I took the exact polar opposite of what you're used to people promising. And that's why you clicked on this ad. YouTube video. Now we have competitor research where you're looking at their ads library, you're looking at their creatives, you're looking at their website, seeing what different lines they're using, and looking at their offers. What are they offering and is it compelling? And once you've done market research and you understand the market, because this is the most important part, understanding who you're actually targeting here, you can then make a swipe file, which is a handy document to have beside you while scripting your ads to ensure you have all the necessary information about your ideal customers. And this is one of the most important parts of the process. So I'm going to show you how to make a swipe file, and then I'm going to show you a GPT prompt to do the same. So this was made by ChatGPT using the prompt, but you can see the problems of my ICP, which are coaches, are inconsistent lead flow, manual processes and time constraints, a lack of automation and structured systems, pricing and positioning uncertainty. So these are all pain points, and this also could be used as angles or reasons why people click on my ads. From there, you have agitation. What makes the pain points really permanent and trapping? So you can see here, they're losing revenue and growth opportunities. They're feeling burnt out and they're wasting a lot of time. And then the solution, the Instagram ecosystem, where you have a top of funnel of cognitive response ads to get highly qualified leads in the form of Instagram followers, a middle of funnel landing page to nurture and convert these people, and then a bottom of funnel of appointment status to book 5 to 10 sales calls a day from the followers for a commission-based closer to close, okay? So to use this ChatGPT prompt right here, if you want this, just DM me on Instagram and I can send you like the whole prompt right here. But anyway, from here, you need to calculate your daily budget. Now that you have this baseline swipe file prepared, which has all the information you need to actually create an ad, you need to calculate like the actual campaign structure and the campaign plan. So I always recommend 20% of money goes to retargeting and 80% goes to the top of funnel. Once again, if you want this many unhappy customers, as you can see right here, you need to have a really strong top of funnel because there's no way you're going to reach this many people without it, okay? So anyway, from there, the top of funnel ads should have a minimum of $20 in ad spend per day. These ads, now that's not a lot, right? I know people who personally spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads every single day. So $20 a day is really not a lot. So you need $20 a day. So let me know how many like ad campaigns you can or ads you can kind of make from that. And then also the testimonial retargeting ads, which are really powerful. So now you know what to create. Let's make it happen. So there's the CRA structure, like the CRA ad structure right here, how to actually make one of these ads. So the first part is a hook. You need a really strong hook, and there are two ways to do it. There's the TikTok method and then the ads manager method. The TikTok method is going to your ads library, going to TikTok, and then searching up your industry or like your biggest competitor and looking at the viral videos, analyzing their hooks, the words said, the visuals, the tonality, and finding 3 applicable ones. So here's a client example right here. I have a client who runs like a self-improvement offer. So my friend Jack actually has like a big personal brand in the space. So we found this hook for Diego, which was very, very applicable, and it was already proven to go viral. You can see 3.2 million views. Then there's the ads library method, where you look at your biggest competitors on the swipe file we made before, go to adslibrary.facebook.com, and then find like the oldest running ad, because those are the winners, because people aren't actually going to be spending money on ads that aren't converting. And feel free to take as much inspiration as you like from winners, because it is a literal cheat code, and analyze the winners hook. So both what is said and what is on screen and what is being visually done, and tweak through them to your ads accordingly, okay? From there, you need to have the problems and the agitation. This is what's going to make the ad compelling, because people, they find pain more compelling than like a desire. So this is the 3-step pain point process I use, which is extremely effective. We first have a confirmation bias, which confirms that they're not lazy or stupid, because no one wants to think that they're lazy or stupid. And if your ad makes them feel that way, they're going to click off. So you need to confirm that they're not stupid, that they've put in the work, that they've tried, even if they haven't, because at the end of the day, they don't care. They're not aware of this. So then you have the problem. So list 3 of the most painful pain points in the swipe file, and then agitate the problems. Make it feel permanent. Make it feel trapping, okay? So here are some examples. You're earning 6 figures. Bang, confirmation. You're not like an idiot. But you're working long hours, stuck in the same routine, and feeling drained with no time left to actually enjoy your life. These were the 3 pain points in the swipe file. And maybe you're scared that you'll be trapped in this loop for the rest of your life. We made it seem permanent. You're running ads, posting content, and booking calls, but when it comes to sales, you avoid asking the hard questions, you freeze up at objections, and you lose so many leads that you could have closed, making it feel like you're wasting all this time and money booking calls that just aren't closing. And this, I think, was like a spelling error, my bad. Anyway, from here, we then go into the mid-roll call to action and solution. This is where we tell these people to take an action to get the solution. So if that sounds like you, then go to my profile and drop me a follow, where I'll show you how the unique mechanism has helped X number of ideal clients just like you get these benefits so they can have this desired outcome. You want to go benefits and then expand to the desired outcome, if that makes sense. So here's an example right here. So if that sounds like you, can go to my profile and drop me a follow, where I'll show you how I went from being overworked in a corporate job, stuck in the same exact cycle as you, to making X profit in my first 11 months with Amazon FBA, whilst traveling full-time with my family and living life on my own terms. This one is more like a personal angle, because we actually had like the social proof to do it in this ad for that client. And then we go into the client results. So we have 3 results, because 3, this is like a little psychological trick right there. The brain remembers 3s very, very easily. No one knows why, but the brain remembers numbers like 3 very easily. So how name went from the viewer's current situation to the viewer's desired situation without and then an excuse. How, I went from 10 to 50K a month with only 2,000 followers, or without being famous. Okay, I get it. Now I'm kind of famous with all these unhappy customers, but I still only have 2,000 followers, right? From here, we then have the final call to action, which is an identity-based call to action. An identity-based call to action means that if they don't follow the action, then they're kind of like violating themselves. They're not going to become the person they want to be. So if you're tired of biggest pain points and you actually want desired outcomes, then go to my profile and drop me a follow. I'll show you this, this, and this for 100% free. So here's an example of a CRA ad. And then also here's a breakdown of actually I'll keep this for my clients as a course, my client course. Anyway, you need to use this checklist, okay? You need to use this checklist in your ads. Biggest problem, visually explain in the hook. Then you want to visually agitate their problems. You want to evoke emotion, make sure it feels permanent and trapping. You want to make sure the mechanism makes sense. You want to describe the outcome by having the benefits and then expand broader to the desirable, what it means. Or you want to take the approach of where the client was to where they are now and how quickly and easily the mechanism bridged the gap. And then when introducing client results, include the number of clients you've helped, and then get specific. My goodness. And then the final CTA needs to use words like actually or if you're serious, and take them from pain to ideal outcome, okay? So when it comes to ad production, here's the process we use. Ad creation, recording, editing, and then reviewing and launching. So for creating your ads, you want to first structure the campaign, then you want to do the market research, then you want to create a thesis of what you think is going to happen when you make these ads. So the theory, the why, the angles you want to take, the formats you want to do, the copywriting framework, and the potential hooks. And then from there, you want to script the creatives, plan the recording, plan the editing. Then you want to basically send it to me for review. This was for our clients once again. And then you get the revisions from me and then you approve it, okay? So from here, you follow these steps. I'm not going to kind of waste your time with that. And as you can see, here's like the prompt for the actual swipe file. You already went through those with me earlier. And then you want to record the actual ad. From recording the ad, you want to edit it using the editing SOP. So you give this to your video editor. You say, watch this loom, follow the storyboard, gather assets like the raw footage, the B-roll, the branding, the testimonials, and the funnels. And then when it comes to editing, attach your branding folder, so all the different branding elements you have. And then good editing is intentional. It retains the viewers, has something happen every 3 seconds, and it uses animations to add context, trust, or curiosity. So don't just have edits for the sake of editing. View the ads and find out what one was a winner, what one was a loser. Either scale them or kill them and then launch the new ads. So when it comes to actually launching your ads, when you want to test ads, you want to do Facebook Ads Manager. So you want to start a new campaign and you want to set this up as a CBO campaign, which means a campaign budget optimization, where you can test essentially 2 different targeting options. So the actual campaign will split money between ad sets, and ad sets are where the targeting is at. So you want to have an Advantage Plus targeting one and then a manual targeting, and you just want to see what performs better for your business, because after running these ads for hundreds and hundreds of people, like, it's kind of hard to know specifically like what one will work for your business essentially. Okay, so from there, you want to have the same ads in the ads level. You want to wait 3 days, and then what ad set had the most spend, and then what ads within the ad set had the most spend, because Facebook is going to spend money on the ones that work best. And when you find those winning ones that have the most spend, you're going to launch them on Instagram. So you're going to post 1 to 3 winners organically on Instagram. You're going to leave it for 24 hours and then hit boost. You're going to enter the winning targeting, so whether it was the Advantage Plus one or the manual one, and then you're going to set a spend that you're comfortable with, but not too low, because within Instagram you can't actually edit the spend. So like $25 to $100 per day per ad, and the goal is to have $50 to $100 in total ad spend, and make sure to turn off the Facebook test unless it's getting results. Okay, so from there we need to analyze the ads and determine what one is like good to keep on. So I'm just going to go through the simple method here. I don't want to really bother you guys with the advanced method here, because this is only for like, you know, if you're really scaling up these ads. So the simple method is, if it's less than $2 per follower, you want to look at the lead quality. If it's below 10%, you want to kill the ad. If it's above 10%, you want to horizontally scale the ad, as you can see right here. So if it's $3 to $5 per follower, you want to calculate the lead quality. So if the lead quality is good, aka above 25%, then you're going to want to horizontally scale the ad. And if it's below 25%, you're going to want to kill the ad, okay? And if it's above $10 a follow, instantly kill the ad. So from there, I want to tell you about horizontal versus vertical scaling. Horizontal scaling is the best and safest option, and it's where you launch the ad again with optimization. So the first option is to re-edit it. The other one is to film new hooks, and the other one is to remake the ad with like a better script, better hooks, visuals, and edit. So it's basically taking this winning ad, and then either you're making little adjustments like editing or like filming new hooks to it. You're basically just posting it again, because what happens, there's something called the snow globe effect. Now the snow globe effect, sorry, not ball, globe, is when you change a setting inside of Meta, it can mess up the entire campaign. Even something like a comma in the ad copy, and it's like a snow globe, right? When you shake it, when you annoy Meta and you shake up the snow globe, all the snow goes everywhere, and it takes a very long time for it to settle, which is why I prefer vertically scaling. It's much safer, because we've had times with clients where they're like insist on, like, let's say changing something with an ad, and then the ad just goes to complete shit. So you should always try and do horizontal scaling if possible. You can do vertical if you're running it through like actually like Facebook Ads Manager, and you should just scale the budget by like 20% every 3 days max. That still is risky. And yeah, just repost the horizontally scaled ad on Instagram, run it with the same targeting and a higher spend, like at least double, okay? So this is the exact system on how, once again, I'm having all of these unhappy customers. If you want to do the same, if you want to have hundreds of these unhappy customers in just a few hours, as you can see right here, then DM me on Instagram and I'll make you the next one. I'm just playing, but have a nice day.